is Yessenia. I'm also known as MamaYessenia on TikTok and on Instagram. And if you guys aren't already giving me a follow, please give me a follow. I'm going to have all my information down below in the bio for everything I'm going to speak about today. And today I want to talk about what was my journey to become a surrogate. So I wanted to talk about my reason why I became a surrogate in the first place. So it's kind of a sad story. It started off as, so I did have my first son in the year 2017. His name is Tyson. I was about 20 years old when I had him. And when he was about 1 year old, I unfortunately suffered a miscarriage. Got pregnant when he was around 1 year old, and it was an unexpected pregnancy, to be honest. I didn't expect to get pregnant again at that time, and I did. But I was still very excited to have another baby. So when I was about 8 weeks along, I was getting ready to go to my first appointment at my OBGYN. So I went into my appointment with my husband, and I was so excited to see my baby for the first time. I got to the appointment, and when they were doing the ultrasound machine, things were not adding up correctly. When they did the ultrasound, the baby was measuring only about 4 or 5 weeks. So the doctors kept telling me that maybe I estimated my due date wrong, and I wasn't as far along as I expected to be. So at that time, I was supposed to be around 8 weeks, like I said, but I was measuring around 4 or 5 weeks. I was really nervous. I felt like something was wrong in my gut. The doctors weren't giving me any answers. My periods have always been very consistent, every 30 days. So whenever my period was late, that's not normal for me at all. I was late for 5 days with my first son, with my first pregnancy, and I knew I was pregnant immediately after knowing that I was 5 days late, just because my period has always been consistent. Things were not adding up, and I knew something was wrong. Time had went by, and then I ended up starting to bleed. I went into the doctor. They still didn't tell me that I was having a miscarriage. They didn't let me know anything that was going on. And a few weeks went by, and I had the miscarriage at home. It's a really hard time in my life. I was severely depressed. I lost a lot of weight. At that time, I was around 130 pounds on the regular. I had dropped 30 pounds. And I was about 100 pounds, and I was very unhealthy. I was depressed. A lot of my friends and family around me didn't really understand what I was going through. It was really hard on me because I didn't have anybody in my corner. I didn't have anybody understanding how I was feeling. I did have a few friends that told me, oh, like, yeah, you'll have another baby, but it didn't make me feel any better. I felt like maybe I did something wrong, or like it was all my fault, to be honest. I was really lucky to get pregnant soon after my miscarriage. Only a few months after, I did get pregnant with my youngest son. His name is Trey, and I had him in October of 2019. He was super healthy. He was born at 37 weeks. My whole entire pregnancy with him, I was extremely anxious still, just because I went through the previous miscarriage and the doctors didn't warn me about potentially having a miscarriage, but everything went perfectly in the pregnancy, despite me having all of my different types of anxiety and still sadness at the time, because I still mourned the baby that I did lose. So I had him in 2019, and he was super healthy. He came out at 9 pounds 3 ounces at exactly 37 weeks, and my labor and delivery was really perfect. I had him, the whole labor was under 2 hours, and he came out, and I was so happy. I was so happy to be a mother again. I felt so blessed. But whenever I went through my miscarriage, when I had my first son still, it made me grateful to even have one child, because so many people struggle to even have one child, and going through my miscarriage really opened my eyes to that. I learned that 1 in 4 women have a miscarriage. At least 20% of people have a hard time conceiving. So going through my miscarriage, I still felt very grateful to have one child, and I felt even more grateful to have my second son that was born. I was so happy to be a mother again, and that's what really opened my eyes into infertility, people having miscarriages, and the surrogacy community. I enjoyed both my pregnancies so much. I really wanted to make a difference in somebody's life. I really wanted to help somebody become a mother that had problems with infertility and couldn't carry a baby on their own. So that's what really made me make the decision to become a surrogate. I was breastfeeding for my son. He stopped breastfeeding at around 18 months, and then I decided to start the surrogacy process. I went online and I talked to multiple agencies, and I found the perfect one that fit with me, and I feel really grateful to have been a surrogate. If you guys don't know, I did give birth to the surrogate baby roughly about 6 weeks ago. He was born on February 18th, and that is the story on the reason why I became a surrogate. I think it's really important to spread kindness if you can, do good things for others. I have no regrets. If you guys have any video ideas for me, definitely drop them below, and I would love to share more of my story with you guys. So please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be making more videos for you guys, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.